So Murph's now over, and I needed to get back to work, and some things are going on at work where we're going through the review processes and whatnot, and I needed a sign to kind of let people know to let me know before they come around the corner in my cube area, and I decided what better way of dealing with it than to make a quick sign and print it out. Stick around, see how everything worked out. I'm Ron, and this is my place. So I needed to make a sign. I could have obviously popped into Fusion 360 and figured it all, messed with it, figured out what I wanted to do. But I knew it was going to be a pretty basic uh, sign setup. I didn't want to get anything fancy. So I decided to make this. And I think it turned out pretty good. I knew it was going to be basic and simple. And I knew that I just wanted some words and then a little bit of maybe something with interest. And the other thing was that anytime you're dealing with a sign or large flat piece, you have a tendency to warp. And it's because the filament, as it's laying down, starts pulling on itself as everything cools and contracts. So one of the ways to combat against that is to actually work into your design to avoid large, flat, open, surfaces. And in this case, I thought a kind of a cool lattice work would work. So that was kind of my intent, was a big square with some lattice in it and then some words. I decided to mess with Tinkercad instead of going into Fusion 360 because I'm thinking some people may not like Fusion 360, and Tinkercad is getting better and better, and you can do a lot of neat stuff in there. And to be honest, it is simple for stuff like this. It's very, very quick and simple. So this is Makergeek PLA Peachy something or other. Printed all in one color, and then I decided to get a little bit creative, and I just painted the letters black, and then of course the peace sign I painted as a little white just to give it something, a little extra pop. And the stand is an extra stand that I did from when I was making the first try at making the holder for my plate. So I figured, hey, I already got it printed out. Why not use that? And that was also printed out. That was in a crystal blue Makergeek PLA. So anyways, there you go. There wasn't a lot to it. Everything printed out really well. I printed this on the the Prusa i3 Mark III, and all the layers and everything looked good. I had obviously no problems printing it. So stick around. I'll run you through Tinkercad real quick on how I designed it and got it going. So thanks for sticking around and check it out. Okay, so we're in Tinkercad. Obviously, it's tinkercad.com, and you can just kind of make your own account and log in. And it's really a simple program to use. Just trying to see, oh, my designs. These are all different little things that I've made as I've messed around um, with it. So anyway, so this is the sign, and what I knew I wanted was the square, and I wanted words on it with a kind of a mesh in the background. So obviously the first thing you can do is, like, I'm just going to drag this part of it away. So the very first thing I did was I actually grabbed a box and I drug it in here. And once you drag a box in there, you can look at it and you can just drag it around either up and down. You can resize it and do whatever you want. It makes it really, really simple. Moving it around like that, you can so anyway, so I just basically flattened it out to 3 millimeters, I believe, and then made a square that I approximated how big that I would want it. And at that point, I needed to do the next step. So I actually then went up into the Tinkercad here. Okay, so I went over here and picked under the featured. I just ended up scrolling around and I was just looking for different things. And then I saw diamond mesh. And when you do the diamond mesh, you drop it onto here. And when you make this, you can then just go through the rows and you can create more or less columns. And I just kept messing with it until I'd got what I wanted, and I wanted to actually turn off the side triangles and also the minis because I just wanted a basic mesh. So I just played with that a little bit until I got the desired that I liked, and then I also inverted it. So once it's inverted, I created and turned it into holes. So then when it was on top of my triangle or my square, it's a square. When I put it on the square and with the holes, and when I merged the two together, it cut out all the little diamonds into the design that I wanted. So it was really, really simple to do. The next thing I did was, after that was grouped. So once they're together, then you can actually hit this group button up here, which I'd already done, uh, as you can see for here. So then I just threw together the words that I wanted with, and I found a neat little symbol. And at first, what I noticed was the first time I did this, I had the spacing off a little bit, and my eyes here showed up something like that, where you can actually see that it would have tried to have to print over nothing. So I just ended up going back and manipulating things until I got the layout that I wanted with the appropriate amount of overhangs, and everything looked like it was going to print really well. And when I did that, as you also notice, because of the way it works, it's actually creating it on the same plane. So when they're created the same plane, I just extruded them a little bit taller, and that made sure that they were going to be well connected to each other. And then all I did was you just kind of drag around everything when you think it's in good shape, and you hit group. And then it just automatically groups it all together, and now it's one piece. And after it's one piece, you're happy with what you got going on. All you do is you click export, pick which one you want, of course STL for our purposes, and boom, you throw it out there. Now another piece that you can do here is, this is a really easy and neat way to create SVG files. If you want to create kind of your logo or your emblem or something like that, or your name, you can then export it out into an SVG file and incorporate it into your Fusion 360 drawings. And again, you can do it out there, but this is just really simple at times. So there you go. Hopefully it's of some use. Tinkercad's a pretty neat little program. If you've never done any design work, I highly recommend coming here, messing around with it, come up with an idea, sketch it out on a piece of paper, and then just go to town. I mean, it's really, really, really simple. Uh, and when you go through all this, what I really like is the concept that it's just visual. It's very, very drag and drop. And then if you know, it's just connecting things. If you want to put a big hole through it, you can rotate, and then I mean, it's just really simple. And then if you want it to be a hole, you just say, oh no, I want that to be a hole, and then you combine them together. And this is how you make things. Now, anytime you have a circular object like that, one of the other things that's neat is you can actually have your segments. Nope, not segments. I think it's sides. Yeah, you'll notice if you really look here, you'll see how it's really angular. It's not really circular. In the old days, old days, even a year ago, you really had a hard time getting any kind of a real circle out of it. But if you go all the way up, you can actually now in Tinkercad get a really nice smooth circle. So then once you group the things together, when it cuts it out, you can actually get a very smooth circle now, and it'll print really well. So anyways, there you go. Enjoy, get creative, let us know what you make. Thanks.